On July 12, 1998, a luxury cruise ship named Eterna Voyager departed from the port of Miami, bound for a popular Caribbean route. At the time, this vessel was considered one of the most majestic afloat, carrying over 1,500 passengers and nearly 400 crew. Everything about the voyage was meant to be routine. Pools filled with children laughing, couples enjoying champagne under the sun, live jazz echoing from the lounge, and families exploring the endless buffet. The ship itself was a marvel, equipped with advanced navigation systems, satellite communication, and state-of-the-art safety equipment. There was no reason to expect the journey would end in anything but photographs, souvenirs, and fond memories. But 5 days after departure, the Eterna Voyager would become the center of one of the chilling maritime mysteries of the late 20th century. On the night of July 17, the Coastal Control Tower in Puerto Rico received the ship's automated signal. It contained routine data, position, weather, and speed. Nothing unusual. Captain James Hollander even radioed in personally, calmly confirming that they would arrive at St. Thomas the following morning. Yet only hours after that final message, silence fell. No more satellite calls, no emergency beacons, no distress signals. It was as if the ship had simply fallen off the grid. At first, authorities assumed it was a temporary technical issue, but as the hours stretched into days, concern grew into dread. 3 days later, a Panamanian cargo vessel stumbled across the Eterna Voyager, drifting aimlessly in the Caribbean Sea. From a distance, the cruise ship looked intact, though it leaned slightly to the port side. Lights still glowed in some sections, proof that the generators were running. As the rescuers drew closer, the silence was suffocating. No voices, no movement on deck. The massive ship looked like a floating city stripped of life. When the rescue team finally boarded, they were stunned. Every personal belonging remained in place, clothes neatly folded in closets, luggage half unpacked, meals left half-eaten in the dining hall, glasses still sweating with condensation at the bar. The casino was frozen mid-game, chips scattered across tables, but not a single person was aboard. Search teams scoured every inch of the ship, from the engine room to the observation deck. They found no bodies, no signs of a struggle, not even evidence of lifeboats being deployed. Every lifeboat remained secured to its frame. Even stranger, the ship's systems were intact. The engines had stopped only because fuel reserves had run dry. Communication equipment showed no damage. Cabin doors stood ajar, as though occupants had left in a hurry, but not in panic. In the control room, the ship's logbook ended abruptly at 11:47 p.m. on July 17th. The last entry was chillingly mundane. Seas calm, weather clear. After that, nothing. Investigators did, however, find several unnerving details. Trails of saltwater footprints marked one hallway on the third deck, as if someone or something had walked dripping wet through the corridor. Inside a family cabin, a note lay scrawled on a desk in frantic handwriting. "They came from the water. Do not open the door." The words unsettled everyone who read them. Who were they? On the upper deck, A lounge chair was overturned and deep scratch marks scored the wooden planks as if something heavy had been dragged. But again, no blood, no bodies, no definitive evidence of what had transpired. At first, authorities suggested piracy, but that explanation quickly crumbled. Nothing was stolen, no valuables missing, no evidence of forced entry. And pirates don't make 1,900 people vanish into thin air. Another theory proposed poisoning or a toxic gas leak, yet laboratory tests revealed nothing hazardous in the food, air, or water supply. Medical stations remained untouched. Some speculated mass panic, that passengers leapt into the sea. But how could over 1,500 people abandon ship simultaneously without lowering a single lifeboat, without leaving a single note of explanation? As news spread, witnesses began surfacing with bizarre claims. A Dominican fisherman swore he saw strange lights in the sky the same night the Eterna Voyager went silent. He described them descending into the sea directly along the ship's course. Meanwhile, a Jamaican ham radio operator claimed he intercepted a garbled emergency broadcast from the ship's frequency. The recording, faint but unmistakable, carried a man's voice shouting, "They're inside the ship!" followed by static and silence. The testimonies were unverifiable, but they fueled growing unease. Governments moved swiftly. The United States, along with Caribbean nations, seized the vessel for investigation. Yet only weeks later, the case was declared closed. The official statement was frustratingly vague. Passengers and crew presumed lost due to an undetermined maritime emergency. No further details, no transparency. Soon after, the Eterna Voyager was quietly sold and dismantled, as though authorities wanted the incident erased. The silence only bred speculation. Some theorized the ship was caught in a top-secret military experiment, electromagnetic testing, or sonar blasts gone wrong. Others claimed alien abduction, citing the reports of mysterious lights. But the most chilling theory revolved around the cryptic cabin note, "They came from the water." Paranormal researchers suggested the ship may have encountered something ancient, something that lurked beneath the Caribbean waves long before humanity ever sailed them. 10 years later, in 2008, a man named Daniel Rivers surfaced with a stunning claim. He identified himself as a crew member of the Eterna Voyager, spared only because he had taken a sudden leave before the voyage. Daniel recalled a phone call from a fellow crewman the day before the disappearance. His colleague had sounded terrified. Passengers, he said, reported seeing massive shadows moving beneath the ship, following it for days. At night, there were knocks against the hull, loud, deliberate, as though something enormous was testing the steel. His colleague's final words haunted him. "If something happens, never believe the official reports. They don't want the world to know what's under the Caribbean." To this day, no trace of the passengers or crew has ever been found. No bodies washed ashore, no lifeboats adrift, nothing. For the families, it remains a wound that never healed. For scientists, an unsolved anomaly. And for seafarers, a terrifying reminder of the ocean's secrets. Even now, ships passing the Eterna Voyager's final route report strange phenomena. sonar detecting vast shapes beneath, radios capturing ghostly whispers or shadowy figures spotted briefly on deck before vanishing. Some sailors swear they've seen passengers in white clothing standing silently at the railings of their own vessels, figures that dissolve into mist when approached. The tragedy of the Eterna Voyager remains one of the most unsettling maritime mysteries in modern history. No explanation satisfies. Every theory only deepens the abyss of questions. Perhaps the Caribbean's crystalline waters conceal more than coral and fish. Perhaps they guard doors to places we are not meant to reach, or entities we are not meant to meet. For the rest of us, the story of the Eterna Voyager is a chilling reminder. The ocean is vast, beautiful, but indifferent. It holds its dead, and it keeps its secrets. And for anyone who sails those waters, one question lingers like salt on the air. Will you simply pass through unharmed, or will you become part of the mystery yourself?